Hey everybody, this is Kirsten here. Thank you so much for joining me today on this new episode of the Balanced Vibes podcast. Today we're talking about 5 exercises that you should be including in your workout program if you want to have faster metabolism, higher metabolic rate. It's the same thing. And you want to build muscle and you also want to burn body fat. Muscle, of course, is what gives your body the shape that a lot of people want to have. And so many people want to burn body fat. So all this is possible when your metabolic rate is higher. We've talked about it a lot. But today I'm going to share with you more specifically what are the 5 exercises that you should be including in your workout routine and literally do them super consistently every single week to get the best results. And why I'm talking about speeding up your metabolism, well, so many women tell me, especially after they've done a lot of dieting, especially after they've done intermittent fasting, things like that, that my metabolism is so slow. And that's why I'm not able to lose body fat and body weight. And I am just gaining. No matter what I do now, I'm just gaining. And my metabolism is just so low and there's nothing to do about it. There is a lot to do about it. And yeah, like I said, oftentimes it happens after so many months or even years of dieting and also doing lots of cardio workouts or boot camps and things like that. It's just overdoing these things. And by the way, I'm not saying that no cardio is like you should never do any cardio or boot camp class will kill you. No, this is not what I'm saying. But if you're saying that your metabolic rate is low, your metabolism is low, you feel like you're gaining weight super easily, then you have to do a little bit different workouts. And you have to do the exercises specifically that I'm telling you about today. But before I get into those 5 exercises, I wanted to remind you that my membership program, Train to Build, is open. And until Friday, July 8th, you can get a 7-day free access to the program. So 7 days for free. And honestly, I don't know if you don't jump on it, if you don't do it, I don't know why, because this is free, you guys. This is free. After those 7-day period, you can decide if you want to stay or if you want to leave. So make sure to sign up. The link is in my YouTube description. The link is in the show notes. The link is on my Instagram. It's the first thing when you go to my bio, you'll see it right there. So let's do it. And I wanted to share also a couple of results with you that people who did this program, who tested out the first part of it, got. So let me read you a few results. So some of them are kind of physique related. So somebody says, wow, I did the measurements and there's a change. I thought I wouldn't see any difference in 3 weeks, but there is some. I have increased my calories and my weight is dropping. I'm down 1.5 pounds now while eating more. So this is awesome. And then the other one, I have increased my squat from 114 pounds to 134 in just 3.5 weeks, and I've lost total of 4.5 inches. I was surprised to see such a change in the numbers, to be honest. I tried on a ton of my clothes and everything is fitting better. So these are just a couple of results that people have gotten. I thought I would share with you the physique results because these are usually the most interesting for a lot of people. But of course, there are many that are related to sleep, higher energy, better mood, just feeling good about being consistent, doing the workouts, doing something healthy for yourself. So if you are interested and if you're looking for that metabolism boosting effect, then sign up for these workouts. Like I said, the link is everywhere where you can find me, and let's do it together. All right, let's now talk about the 5 exercises that you should absolutely include in your workout programming if your goal is to speed up your metabolic rate and have better muscle building and fat loss results. And the 5 exercises that I'm going to mention are all known as compound movements. So what are compound movements? These are the movements that basically use the most muscle possible, right? So let's compare, for example, the deadlift, where you pick up a heavy barbell or a set of dumbbells or a kettlebell. Let's compare that to a biceps curl. So of course, the deadlift is using way more muscle and way more energy than that biceps exercise that I just mentioned, bicep curl. So compound movements are the ones where you're using many muscle groups at once. With most of them, you're hitting the whole body versus, like I said, doing like bicep curl or calf raise, where the movement is really isolated. And by the way, those exercises are not bad. Those small single joint exercises, they're not bad. They do have their time and place in the workout programming, but the 5 big lifts that I'm going to talk about today are more important than that because they will give you the most bang for your buck. So what they do is, because they use so much energy, because they use so many different muscle groups, they also shape your body the most effectively. And there's a big effect all over your body as far as energy burn. So the big lifts are important to incorporate in most of your workouts. And by the way, not all five. You don't have to do all five every single workout. Pick two, and then next time pick other two. And this is how you rotate. So at the end of this episode, I'm also sharing with you, giving you a couple of tips on how to incorporate these exercises into your plan and when to do it, how many reps, and so on. But let's go ahead and talk about the exercises. So the first one is, of course, the deadlift. I'm pretty sure that you have seen what that looks like. Like I just described, you're picking up a heavy object being like a deadlift, barbell or a set of dumbbells or a kettlebell, but also when you pick up something off the floor in real life, that could also be a deadlift. So when you pick up something from the floor, then you're using your hamstrings, your glutes, your back, your hips, your traps, so upper back, everything. And of course, you're using also a lot of your core. It's impossible to do a deadlift and not engage your core. So that's why sometimes people ask me, why don't you have a ton of core work in your programs? And I do have one or two exercises usually in every workout, but not more than that, because if you do compound lifts, which I always have in my programs, then you get so much core work already from these lifts. So the first one was the deadlift. The second one is the squat. Of course, in a squat, you use all of your leg muscles. There is literally nothing that you don't use. And leg muscles are some of the biggest muscles in our body. When you think about our quads, for example, when you think about also our glutes, right? Our butt muscles. These are some of the biggest muscles in the body. And the more we're able to use them, the more energy we burn, the more we get out of this exercise. So squat has to be included in most of your workouts. Doesn't have to be every single one, but you should be training your squats really, really frequently. And also here, just like with deadlifts, you are using your core, you are using your abdominals as well. So try to squat without engaging your abdominals. You're not going to get very far. You're not going to get you're not going to be able to lift very heavy weight. So you definitely have to engage your abdominals. The way I recommend thinking about it is like, think as if somebody is about to punch you in your gut. What do? You engage everything. And you notice that when you maintain that engagement, you can lift a lot heavier weight versus not engaging your abs at all. So deadlifts first, squats. By the way, these are not in any specific order, but I mentioned two thus far. The next exercise that should be very frequent in your workout programming is the bench press. And if you're a woman, you might be thinking, I'm not going to do bench press. I'm not a dude, right? But it doesn't matter. Everybody needs to bench press. Everybody who has this goal of having faster metabolism and burning more body fat and building this better, nicer shaped body. So bench press also uses so many muscles. Obviously, chest, right? Chest and arms and shoulders. And also, by the way, glutes, if you do it properly. For example, if you can do it at the gym and you're on the bench, you have this nice arch before you start pushing the weight up. You actually squeeze your glutes. You squeeze your glutes to create this extra tension in the body so that now you can, again, press up heavier weight. So you can try this out yourself too. If you're just kind of like flat on the bench and not engaging your glutes, not pulling your heels back, how much can you lift versus when you pull your heels back, when you arch your back a little bit, it actually naturally arches when you squeeze your glutes and pull your heels back, then you can lift a lot more. And of course, the more you can lift, the better the benefits are. Within reason, of course, don't hurt yourself, don't do anything silly. But generally speaking, this is the case. The next exercise is the row. So there are, of course, many variations, just like for other exercises too. There are several variations, but let's talk about a row with barbell or dumbbells. What muscles you use there? Of course, all of your back, right? Again, there's not a single muscle in your back that is not included when you are doing your rows. Of course, you're using your arms and also you are using your core. So using your core in every single one of these lifts that I'm talking about. And rows should be also included in your workouts very frequently. And the last one, the fifth one, is overhead press. You can, again, do it with a barbell. You can do it with dumbbells. You can, of course, do it also even with a single kettlebell if that's all you have. And what does that work? Well, most people think it's a shoulder exercise. And yes, of course, absolutely. It is a shoulder exercise, but at the same time, it does work your chest. It does work your biceps and triceps. It does, of course, work your core. So it's, again, just like all the other ones, great full body exercise, even though it is, the focus is mostly on the shoulders, but there are many muscles in the body that are involved in this movement. And when it comes to these exercises, you can, of course, do variations too. For example, there are many variations of deadlift. You can do a conventional deadlift. You can do a straight leg deadlift. You could do a sumo deadlift. So it's not that it only has to be the conventional one and you can never change it. You can even do single leg deadlift. When it comes to squat, it could be a back squat. It could be a front squat. It could be a goblet squat. There are many variations. Do all of them. So just include some of them in every workout. And you're going to see that if you've been doing other exercises, more like those single joint exercises, or like doing stuff like booty band things, or just like some random things, or things that haven't given the results, maybe it is the case that you have been ignoring those big muscle group exercises. And when you start doing them, then you're going to get a lot better results. And this is exactly what how I have programmed the workouts in my program too, Train to Build, using these exercises. And these are the ones that have given the results that I just read you, and they really do work well. So now, how do you program them? How do you put them into your routine? So the first thing is make sure that you do them first, because as I mentioned several times, they use the most muscle, they use the most energy, they fatigue you the most as well. So it makes sense to do them first before you start doing anything else. For example, let's say that there is a day when you do bench press, and then you do some rows, and then you do biceps curls and triceps row press downs or something like that. Make sure to do your bench and row first, because you need more energy for them, and you also get more out of it when you do those first. Then the next thing, how many of them should you include in each workout? And I think I actually already said that earlier. You don't have to do all 5 in one single workout. Do 2 of them. Let's say 2 in every workout. Let's say you are doing a row and overhead press, for example, or then you do deadlift and the bench in the same workout. I don't very often put deadlift and squat in the same workout, but there's nothing wrong with that actually either, if you do that. So that will be fine variation as well. And then the last tip, how to program them, is that we have to talk about the reps too. How many reps should you do? And this is where proper organizing and phasing your workouts becomes really important, because the reps could be so different. Literally everything between 1 to about 20 reps will build muscle. And now you might be thinking, okay, so what does that look like? So what should I do? How many should I do when? And the best thing to do is to phase your workouts so that you have a phase where the reps are low, let's say from 3 to 6 maybe, and there will be another couple of week phase where your reps will be higher. So don't just throw them around randomly. There is actually a strategy to it, and every rep range has its purpose. And of course, if you lift 3 to 6 reps, you can move heavier weight versus when you're doing 20 reps. So don't expect that maybe in the first phase you did deadlifts, I'm just using a random number here, with 135 pounds, and you did 3 reps, then don't expect that in the next phase where you are doing 20 reps, for example, which is definitely higher end, I wouldn't go past that you're going to use the same 135 pounds. So of course, adjust your weights accordingly and be smart about it. And of course, over time, your strength should absolutely go up. For example, if you use that 135 for 3 reps, then soon, let's say, well, it depends how experienced you are, but soon you should be able to put a little bit more weight on the bar. Maybe you get your weight up to 145 and then eventually 155 and so on. One day you're going to hit 200 pounds and it's going to feel really amazing. So this is important to progressively overload. Don't stick with the same weight forever and ever. If you listen to the last episode, which was 163, you know that this is one of the really big mistakes that so many women are making. They are doing the same amount of reps, same exact workouts over and over again, and wondering why they are not getting results. So this is it for me today. There's still time to sign up for that 7-day trial for Train to Build. If you want to do that, then go ahead and check out the links in the show notes, links in my Instagram bio, and everywhere where I am. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to also check out the next video, and I don't know which side it is, in one of these sites. And leave me a comment, leave me a 5-star review. That would be wonderful if you're listening to this on iTunes. All right, I will talk to you again very soon. Thank you and have a great day.